Hello, photographers, graphic designers, and other freelance creatives. Welcome to Coaching for Creatives. I'm McKay. I am your host, and I am the founder of Business of Creativity. And today's conversation is all about putting pricing on your website. Yes or no? And this can be a very contentious issue for a lot of freelance creatives. Jump into the conversation, post in the comments. What do you think? Do you have your prices on your website? Do you think people should have their pricing on their website? Let's look at why putting pricing on your website might be a little bit contentious and why there is confusion about this in the first place. Generally speaking, I believe that it's not a black and white answer, that there are some cases where putting your prices on your website can be super effective, can really support you in your marketing, and can help you close more sales without having to do as much work or having to even talk to your clients. There's some cases where putting your pricing on your website would create unnecessary friction. It might repel or turn away people who would be really good fits for your service, but they might be intimidated or turned away by your pricing. It might also, putting pricing on your website, might also create a positioning of your services. If you only talk about your pricing as the thing that differentiates you, then you may attract people who are looking specifically for pricing as their decision maker. And as freelance creatives, it's really frustrating when our clients choose to hire based on price only. It really feels like they're missing the point of what is unique about our creative services and the value of choosing one creative over the other. In that case, it might not be a great idea to have your pricing on your website. I've talked a little bit about some of the pros and cons of having pricing on your website. And here's my hot take on do it or don't do it. I say it depends. Here's when I think having pricing on your website makes sense. If you are selling low ticket services, low ticket products, and what do I mean by low ticket? That's a variable as well. It does depend a little bit on your audience and your audience's threshold for spending and their sort of sensitivity to price. But most of the time, a low ticket item is less than $100. And it's considered really effective to put those kinds of investments with their price right on your website. Because in buying psychology, investing less than $100, there's less trust that's necessary. It's less of a risk when we invest small amounts of money. Quite often, as a consumer or as a buyer, if you go to a website and you're wanting to buy a service or purchase a product and it's less than $100, you're not expecting to talk to a salesperson or talk to someone and get really good information from them. Generally speaking, the information that's on the website is going to be enough information for you as the buyer to make a buyer decision for something that's under $100. For you as the freelancer who's marketing and selling your services, if you want to put an offer out on your website that is a low offer and you want to put your prices on there, you want to be sure that your website copy, your layout, your design, the way that you set up that web page does the marketing and selling for you and does a really good job of positioning the value and why they should buy before it offers that price. Otherwise, if you start with your price right off the top, you're anchoring price as one of the most important elements in the decision-making process for them. And being compared to and competing on price is not a very effective way to build a long-term sustainable business. However, having said that, lots of us, like my mastermind is less than $100. Its price is right out there on the website. It's the information that you need to join the mastermind should be enough for you to be able to make the decision to buy or not buy. And really, I'm also using that price of $97 as kind of an area of friction, as a way to pre qualify people. Another reason why you might want to put your prices on your website is as a way of helping people go, ooh, if I'm not even willing to spend $97 a month to get great value from this service provider, then maybe this isn't the one for me. By putting that $97 a month price on my website, it eliminates anyone who's not ready to invest at that level. And it gives other people who are ready to invest a clear expectation of what that price threshold might be. Putting that price on your website can be really effective in creating a little bit of a barrier to entry for anyone who is wanting to work with you but doesn't meet your minimum investment. But it can also be a turnoff if you talk about price too early without positioning your value. When is another time to build in price? Not just for low ticket items or items where somebody could do a buy now right on your website. If they can buy without talking to you, then they have to see the price in order to make that buying decision. Price is usually the last piece of information that people need in order to know for sure whether they're going to move ahead with working with you. The other thing, the other reason why you might want to put pricing on your website is if you have a really high ticket item. If you're doing really high touch, really involved, very bespoke services, like maybe you're doing really high end weddings, or maybe you're doing a complete brand strategy for someone, or maybe you're offering like a business mastery program, which is the equivalent of doing a 4 or 6 month MBA for freelancers. All of those are situations where people need to know in advance how much are they going to be looking at before they get too far down the purchasing decision road. In those cases, you might want to put prices starting at such and such amount. For the same reason, you want to let people know, yes, you're excited about this. Yes, it's fantastic. Yes, all of this value and the benefit is available if you're ready to invest starting at this amount. In that case, you might say prices start or range from $5 to $50,000, or prices starting at $5,000. So it gives people a sense of, oh, this is what the investment expectation can be before they book that sales call with you, before they take that next step of wanting to actually engage with you and ask some more questions and get some more information. It can be seen as pricing transparency and can build trust with your prospects so that they know in advance. Putting pricing on your website, however, can also be that just little bit of friction where people aren't quite connected enough to the value that you're going to bring. Hearing the price in isolation doesn't quite make sense yet. They're not connected to the return on that investment that they can expect. If you do your best work in selling when you're talking to people on the phone or you're talking to people on Zoom, I would advise not to put your price on your website, to really position the services that you offer as being bespoke and needing to be customized so that people will get on that call and talk about their unique situation so that you can find a bespoke solution for them and be able to price it the way that you want. There's so many strategies behind putting your pricing on your website or not, and they really are part of your overall marketing strategy and part of your pricing strategy. And this is one of the things that is like my my rant, my soapbox, is that when you are thinking about what your pricing should be, I really encourage you to think about your pricing in relationship to your marketing, and how can you set your pricing or use your prices to actually help you close more sales. And one of the ways of doing that is thinking strategically about whether or not you put your prices on your website. I'd love to hear from you. Do you put your prices on your website? Do you think it's a good idea? Yes or no? Is there anything that I missed? Post it in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Coaching for Creatives.